Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 21 of the Road to 2K on chess.com. Last time we went over a few of our old games, so today we're at 1785, and we are playing a 1787 from France. So our opponent plays d4, we're going to go ahead and play d5, and see what they would like to play next. And it looks like they're going to go for an accelerated London system here. Against London, I kind of like to play the c5 move to offset the pawn. And if we get into this position here, it's kind of like we got into an exchange Caro-Kann where our pieces are just, I don't know, it's a very natural position for us to play. Now if takes, after pawn takes, we don't have anything. But after, well, do we? Pawn takes knight, if queen takes, knight takes here. Bishop can't come back because we take. So I think we're going to snap that knight off. We're going to take the free knight in the center of the board. We're going to take his bishop. And this is the thing that happens sometimes is players just play exceptionally fast. And it doesn't do them a lot of good to do so. Knight here looks enticing, threatening this fork. We're attacking this queen again. Here, I kind of like the idea of like queen to b5, defending here. If he plays a5, we'll move our queen up. And this is kind of a fun tactic. Queen to b4. If takes, we have this. So we're going to go for that. And I'm actually forcing the queens off here, which is also a little bit of a nice addition. So we're going to take there. We're going to win the queen back. Our opponent can no longer castle. Here, his knight's coming in. It's attacking this pawn, so we're just going to support our pawn. We're going to play for development. He comes back. We're just going to take that off with the knight as to not damage our pawns. Maybe I'm going to go bishop to c5. Attacking this pawn. Let's castle, and if he takes, we take back. And we're just up a bunch of material here, so I'm not entirely sure what our opponent's playing for. I think they're probably just playing for some quick tricks to see if they can catch us off guard. And we are down a little bit on the clock, so we'll try and be as mindful as we can of that, but I think we're just in a completely fine, completely winning position here. I'm going to play knight to b4, threatening knight to c2, and he defends. I kind of like getting my knight onto e5 because it's a strong central square. And I even have ideas here of taking this pawn, and then rook comes in and takes this knight. So our opponent misses it. If takes, rook takes, knight takes, we do drop this pawn in the corner. And we do have to move this knight now. So I'm going to drop back to e5. And yeah, I think we're doing just fine here. I have no real qualms in the position. Knight to f3 is always an option. It's not always the best option, but it is an option. Well, let's go ahead. Let's play knight to g6. Ideas of sacking on here. We're going to bring our knight back. I mean, trades are not good for our opponent here, and like we've talked on some previous days, is when you're up in material, you want to keep pieces on. It makes it easier to create that attack. Versus in kind of like what our opponent's doing right now is if you are just pushing super aggressively, it does become really difficult to get anything going. Our opponent's threatening our bishop. It's threatening to come here, but that doesn't really do anything. So I think here I like bishop to c5, just taking some squares, keeping it active. Ooh, we did miss that. That's not good. Let's attack his knight. Knight's forced back somewhere. Let's go bishop to d4. We're still up material. If I go here first, king to g6. You have to address this again. And we should be picking up another pawn here. It's sad that's a little bit of a misplay, and I think I let myself kind of get lazy because I had the early advantage, which is definitely something to be mindful of not doing. So we're going to take once. Our opponent gives us a check. We're going to come back. Take back. And this pawn is under attack. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my rook to h8 and try and play h5. Our opponent double attacks us here. We're going to push up one. And our opponent's playing very, very fast. Give a check. If I go king to g7, our opponent takes. Well, king to g7, our opponent takes here. We take this with. Yeah, let's go that. Let's go king over, attacking the rook. Our opponent opts to go there, so I'm going to take once. We're going to move up in the position, king to g6. Now he's targeting this pawn. I think here we could play a5. But I think our better move is rook to e8. We are allowing one of our rooks to just be very, very passive, which doesn't do us any good. If I move up one, I don't think there's... Well, he's now threatening this check. Let's bring our other rook back. Try and hold on to our pawn advantage. If I go forward, he can step in. I think we just go back one. I'm gonna play rook to d6. Rook to e7. And now we're going to push this pawn. We're preventing infiltration. Our opponent comes over. No matter. We're going to push. Opponent comes in again. Going to bring our rook over. We move up one. And I think we've done just enough here that we should be okay. And now we actually just run all the way over here. With 2 rooks being down 4 pawns, our opponent doesn't have much opportunity to do anything here besides just give endless checks. But this one should absolutely be a win. We do have 4 minutes to convert. If I can't convert being up 4 pawns, it's pretty embarrassing. Gonna go back. King up. Rook here. And now we pin the knight. Okay. This is not a super clean conversion. If I go up, how do I want to do this? B5? Maybe. Rook to D6. Let's get behind our pawn. If they come all the way over, we do have to be a little careful. I think I let too much counterplay happen. Rook to D6. This has been a pretty pitiful conversion. Ooh, I just realized he had rook to H6. I did kind of jinx myself here. We're going to bring the pawn up. Rook to D2. And I'm just going to keep the king cut off, is my whole idea. He's probably going to go for some side checks, which is not an issue. We go up. King A1. Promote. And because our opponent was so kind as to take our time, let's promote to 2 rooks. And we'll just go for a ladder mate. We won't blunder it away. We'll come all the way back. We'll go ahead, we'll bring our rook over here. And checkmate. So we gain 8 points. We're back up to 1793 and well within attacking distance of 1800. So let's look at the game review and we'll call it a day. So, during today's game, we played with an 89.2, and our opponent played with an 86. D4, D5, bishop C4, and C5, and the idea here is that you try and get the pawn off the center. If our opponent goes back, it does allow us to transpose into a Carol exchange of sorts. So after we bring all our pieces in here, we ended up winning a pawn. Bishop to b5, they hung a free bishop for us, and we did see that ahead of time and kind of getting the continuity's sake. We brought our knight back to the center. We found this really nice tactic with queen b4 where there's a fork, knight captures c2, and we're going to go right back and win it. And here is where we kind of fell off a little bit, is we just missed some really silly tactics. Is there was a free pawn, which we didn't take. We went for a check. And we allowed ourselves to get pinned. And after here, and we brought our king up, we just straight up missed that if this bishop gets displaced, we're losing. Now, I was looking at this bishop to b8. It's tough to play because it essentially locks this rook back away. But we can always remember we have a6, a5, and the rook is going to get active once again. The knight comes in, we lose the piece, but we still have the advantage because we're up so many pawns. And after all of this, we essentially lost the entire game here. And I don't know, is it rook to g5? Oh. Rook to g5 and h4, and there's no good way to really stop it. We have to go here. And, or sorry, we just have to give up the rook to give ourselves a square. And that's really not good. So we lucked out there. And converting these endgames should be a lot simpler than what we did in the game. To our opponent's credit, they fought on very, very hard. We simply just lost all of our pawns. We're going to end up losing this e-pawn as well. But then we finally kind of found our configuration. We cut off the king. We marched our pawns. We forced our opponent to take it off. In here, for sake of playing it out, 2 rooks. We go for a ladder checkmate. And I was showing a friend of mine the other day how you can convert these ladder checkmates pretty easily. You just swing the rook to the opposite side of the board. Rook to f2, and we have checkmate on the board. So, another win in the series. It feels good to get one. I did realize right at the end of this recording that the TV is on in the background, so I do apologize. But if you have any feedback, ways I can improve the channel, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what I can do to improve, and I will see you guys on day 22.